Nobody cares about the children, whether it's the conservatards or the demon rats, and I'm gonna explain to you why. So listen here, folks. Now, I understand on the conservative side of things, a lot of them are just simply ignoring the Epstein case entirely, right? They're feigning ignorance. Oh no, Trump would never do that, blah, 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 right? So I don't expect to speak to that crowd and expect to get an answer on whether or not they're going to be willing to atone for what their votes have caused, right? And so I find it necessary I should talk to the demon rats. And it's funny because these people kind of have a bit of a responsibility, like the ball is in your court to actually be the change you want to see in the world, but it seems to me that you people are no different than the other side. Most people are the same. It is what it is. And see, a lot of conservatives might argue, oh, it's free will. Doesn't exist, by the way. But it's free will. And the evil is just mysterious. It magically fell out of the sky. We have no clue what causes PDFs. And so all we can do is just find evidence and arrest them. And, I think that narrative is too shallow, and it's obviously flies in the face of science. So something that really bothers me in this whole discussion of the Epstein case is that I genuinely just don't think people give a shit about children, because they're straight up ignoring my message and calling me crazy. But never wrong, by the way. Fuck you. So I found this meme. Me paying $5 a gallon for gas because they wouldn't just arrest some fucking pedophiles. I go into the comments, I try to do my thing, advertise a little bit. And of course this chud, you see, my agenda is the arrest of billionaires in the Epstein class. You have science, I think you sound nutso. Alright, people, I'm gonna say it again, but it's just evolutionary psychology. There was a point in our species history where the average lifespan was not past like our mid-20s. So you would have to then figure, logically speaking, it becomes adaptive in the wild to actually, engage in that what would be a maladaptive behavior in the modern era. And so people are failing to see how this is actually rooted in our DNA, in our psychology, as a result of our environment. And because people want to just maintain ignorance on this issue, it's why you can't actually just say arresting people is the solution. No, you dipshits, it's fucking not. If arresting people was the solution, half the country would have gotten on board with y'all. So if your message isn't strong enough to unify, then I don't want to fucking hear it. And so, and I must say, I am a little pissed, but I'm gonna admit, I have every fucking right to crash out, because this is about protecting kids. Once you see the truth, there's no going back. Once you see the truth, how could you not be pissed off? Because everyone I talk to doesn't care. They genuinely would rather push their own ideology and agenda. Like this dude right here. I keep explaining to him what's going on with the situation, but he consistently wants to keep talking about, I want to arrest the billionaires, blah, blah, blah. Y'all can stop and read as I'm going through this. It was a bit of a rant, obviously, clearly. I am very passionate about this topic, as I should be, because it's the only thing that matters in this world. And I'm really waiting for people to tell me how I'm wrong instead of saying I'm crazy, because at some point you're just telling on yourself. At some point you really are just telling on yourself, because I genuinely believe insanity is mainstream. It's why you even have Trump in office in the first place, and the crazy news cycle that we have. So I'd be willing to say the average person is fucking retarded. Let's just keep it a buck. I have people accusing me of eugenics. Like, what the fuck? Is it really eugenics to get rid of of fucking pedophilia? Like, wow, that's news to me. That is news to me. So I'm just confused. Where are we getting this nonsense from? So here's another post. Another video I was commenting under. Doing my thing, because I have to. talking about racism. It's a bit different. Not talking quite about the kids, but it is to illustrate the point. Dismantles racism, what a joke. I saw the title of your short and thought you were actually going to answer the questions you proposed. You just said up a ton of bullshit instead. A waste of 2 minutes, LOL. Like, this is what I gotta deal with, folks. Like, I gotta deal with low IQ people who don't ask questions and only throw insults and hate. Like, it's like, what are we doing? Clippy profile picture, by the way. Yeah, these people, you could be sure if they got a clippy profile picture, they're pussies. They're pussies. They're scared little bitches. They don't belong in the kingdom. So, again, people, what are we doing? Why are we pretending that, like, that arresting people is going to, and complaining is going to be the solution to solving the Epstein files? Like, why are we feigning this ignorance? Why are we so scared of evolutionary psychology? Jesus said, don't be afraid. So please, ladies and gentlemen, don't be a bunch of fucking pussies. This shit's getting old. 2,000 years old. And I'm done. I'm done with this shit. What else do I gotta say? I'm just kind of shooting from the hip right now. I mean, this is my first, like, solo video, so this is fun. Oh yeah, solutions. So if we wanted to talk about real solutions, because, you know, I've identified the problem, right? It's in our DNA. And there's a lot of other maladaptive behaviors that are also in our DNA, but I digress. Solutions: education, therapy, repurposing prison into rehabilitation centers, and last but definitely not least, as a last resort option, gene therapy. Oh, that's not even the real last resort option, but I guess I should save that for another time. Fuck it, we'll just say it. People who refuse gene therapy in this new world, we would have to put them down like dogs. Like, we're gonna have to euthanize them. Alright, like, that's just a reality. It's for the greater good. It's because they are suffering with their disease because they identify with it too strongly. If you identify too strongly with kitty diddling, then we're gonna have to, you know, axe you. We're just gonna have to axe you. Because, you know, we need consent with gene therapy. However, when it comes to euthanization, well, let's just say you've made your choice because free will doesn't exist. Or to the extent that it does exist, you have the freedom of will to choose between life and death, the right or wrong thing. Just because free will exists doesn't mean things are not free without cause. And I'm trying to find the cause of pedophilia. Because mind you, I mean, this is something that affects every child. So long as you grew up on the internet, if you've watched porn, if you were exposed to porn at a young age, in my opinion, you have been sexually assaulted. I would expand the definition to sexual assault. Because you have quite literally altered the minds of children. You have stolen my childhood. You have ruined people. Do you know how hard you have to abuse an animal to make them no longer reproduce? It is not as simple as the economy being bad, ladies and gentlemen. Were it so simple, were it so easy, that's just a massive cope. Because humanity has suffered economic downturns throughout all of history, and it's not like our birth rates suffered so much that we would, like, drive ourselves to extinction. This is a rather new thing, all things considered. And so, one of those contributing factors on top of the economy being shit would be we've all been way too overly exposed to sexualized content on the internet. And I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna expose this shit. I grew up with this shit. I'm Gen Z. I literally grew up with the internet and got my childhood robbed. So I'm going to fucking take it back and protect the kids. Like, I'm done fucking around. Like, these people are only talking, like, everyone who's talking about Epstein, they're only talking about Epstein in the context of pushing their political agenda, which is ending capitalism, by the way. And I'm totally on board with ending capitalism. I agree. It's a shitty exploitative system. It's reminiscent of survival of the fittest psychology. It's not compatible with the project of civilization and modernity. However, what I cannot fuck with, what I cannot get behind, is when people use children as a means to just push their ideas and not actually protect kids. Like, we're not making kids the focus. Like, they're just the secondary issue. right? It's like, oh, okay, we need to get these billionaires out so we can protect the kids and then we can fix the economy. And it's like, no, it's not that simple. I wish it was that simple. I wish, but we'd just be playing eternal whack-a-mole with our problems if we don't actually address the root, which is in our DNA. People, Hitler really fucking destroyed all conversation around this topic, unfortunately. It's really a sad thing. But this is the truth, and the truth shall set you free, and we cannot afford to have cowardice or ignorance on this issue. So I'm gonna make this a consistent theme on this channel. I'm just gonna keep talking about everything in this world through the lens of Evo psychology, because, well, everything kind of can be explained through that lens. All of our problems are because of the environment we exist in. Scarcity and conflict, by the way. I've explained it in my other video that outlined the connection between incest, pedophilia, and gays. And I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, this is not pseudoscience, because what is the first step of science? What is it? It's observation. What I have merely done is the first step in science, what people refuse to do because they're a bunch of scared little pussycats. I observed. I used my fucking eyeballs. And I came to some pretty dastardly conclusions. So now what I need is people greater than me, people better than me, to do steps 2 through 6 of the scientific process to help me get from point A to point Z, so that we can do the last step, which is communicate, dialogue, so we can actually get through our problems here. So I won't have any of the accusations of this pseudoscience bullshit, especially when there's lots of science anyway to support what I say. Just so y'all know, there's this thing called the polygamy belt in Africa. There's a polygamy belt. We also know incest is concentrated in the Middle East. And you know, this is where a lot of stereotypes come from. Stereotypes come not from genetics, they come from epigenetics. And understanding epigenetics is key, because if you don't understand epigenetics, well, first of all, you're just going to be a deeply hateful racist, because you're probably going to believe that these characteristics of humans, being their intelligence, their looks, and their build, you're going to think these are immutable characteristics that are immune to changing. And it's like, no, that's not even true. You can actually just train these things. IQ is pretty obvious. Education, building your body, pretty obvious. It's training, and this can also extend over generations to where you slowly over time increase the baseline, right? Biology. And the hardest pill for people to swallow, apparently, probably because they hate white people so much. As you know, we're the true minorities in this world. They really can't see how proper mating practices will make you a more beautiful people. Shocker, surprise. And so understanding these epigenetics is also key in understanding how we crack the code of what's going on around this kitty diddling issue. Because once you realize it's epigenetic, it's influenced behaviorally, culturally, we can actually start addressing the problems. And there's a lot of problems. We got people fail at love. Like the dating market, like everyone sucks at love because they actually don't know what a true friend is. I have a post about that, y'all can look at it. But another dimension to this problem is we don't even have the proper definition of culture. We think culture is the color of your skin. We think culture is the language you speak. We think culture is the achievements of your people, the land you own. But it's none of these things. It's none of these things. Culture is how you see the world. So we got a cultural problem. We got an Evo psych problem. And that other problem I talked about previously. Like, it's multi-dimensional. There's a lot of things to be fixed here, but they're all connected. They're all related to DNA. God's code, by the way. I got the encryption keys. So, what are we doing? Seriously, what are we doing, people? Like, we need to step the fuck up. Hell hath no fury like the rage of a parent. And I had to be my own parent in a way. The internet raised me, neglected child, but it's fine. It's a common story in our generation. Just hand your kid the iPad and let them go off and do their thing. Parents are pretty irresponsible in terms of internet safety. It's a shame, but thankfully I'm here to change those things and make sure we can have internet safety in a better world that actually protects our kids. Like, I'm sick of this shit. It's depressing. It's truly depressing. So yeah, this Justin freaking guy. You're a pussy. Through and through. Let it be known. And people who are haters, my haters, if you're gonna be a hater, you're a traitor to the children. You do not care about them. And it's that simple. We've got a long journey ahead of ourselves if we want to dig ourselves out of this fucking hole. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. The conservatives aren't gonna get it. They don't understand the problem of evil. And then when I speak science to the people who actually understand science, they just call me crazy. What a fucked up world. If you like what you heard here, and you're actually interested in joining a movement that is going to protect the kids, then I would suggest you subscribe to the channel. Like the video, leave a comment, please ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because we're going to do this together. I don't have all the answers. Again, this is just step one. I just have step one in the whole process. Beginning and the end. I have only step one. Right now, I'm observing. So please, if you guys genuinely care at all about children, subscribe. We've got some shit to do. I'll see y'all next time.